Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now obviously as we know, Fight Camp will conclude with Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, and we do also know that Anthony Joshua is going to be there. Anthony Joshua will be ringside for Alexander Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte. Two of his former opponents that he has defeated and stopped in the same round as well. He stopped Povetkin in round 7 and he stopped Dillian Whyte in round 7. But things are different now. Alexander Povetkin was beaten by Anthony Joshua in a world title fight. Dillian Whyte was beaten by Anthony Joshua in a British title fight. So now they are at world level, and perhaps at some point there will be a rematch between Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. But things have already gotten underway with the mind games and the back and forth between the two of them, because Dillian Whyte obviously is the one who is going to be fighting. Anthony Joshua will be watching, but Anthony Joshua was asked about it and he said he might get in there and give him a punch as well. He said he's getting psyched up now because obviously Anthony Joshua does not yet have a fight date against Kubrat Pulev, and maybe he's starting to feel a little bit punchy. Maybe he wants to get in there and just have a fight. And obviously Dillian Whyte is someone who also just wants to fight, but Dillian Whyte did not take too kindly to those comments from Anthony Joshua. He said this in response: he might get a box if he does that. If he does that, he might get a box. There and then, one box. He thinks it's a game, but I don't play games with these guys. They think it's a game. Scream and shout and get in each other's faces. But if he does that, he will get a box. What kind of box? I don't know what he means by box, but I'm guessing he means that he will knock Anthony Joshua out if he does that. Now, obviously, I don't believe Anthony Joshua is going to jump in the ring and tag in if Povetkin gets stopped, or even if Dillian Whyte wins on points. He's not just going to jump in the ring and stick one on Dillian Whyte. He's not going to do that because obviously you got to be respectful, and that wouldn't go down well with AJ at all, with PR, with him having another fight, because he'll be banned. So that's not going to happen. But the problem is when you get these two together, there is genuine animosity there. There is also mutual respect. We saw that when Dillian Whyte went over and spoke to Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia and explained to him, don't worry about trying to knock this guy out. Don't worry about looking good. Look good in your next fight. The important thing is to get the win. And that was something that Dillian Whyte did not have to do, but he done it anyway. And it was good that Anthony Joshua was also receptive to it as well. So there is mutual respect between the two of them. But in the squared circle, in that ring, when they are fighting, the respect is kind of there, obviously, in some way. But ultimately, the respect is put aside so they can fight. I believe that Anthony Joshua provoked a reaction from Dillian Whyte by making those comments. But obviously, Anthony Joshua is not going to jump in there and, as I said, punch Dillian Whyte. He's not really going to do that. He's just saying that he wants to fight. He's a fighter. He wants to get in there and fight. And watching a fight live, the first one in months, is going to kind of get the juices flowing for Anthony Joshua. So it's going to be hard not to want to get straight in there and fight there and then. But then again, Anthony Joshua is not going to ruin his chances of fighting Kubrat Pulev, because obviously he would be banned for doing something like that. So that's not going to happen. And I think Dillian Whyte was just thinking, why is he being cheeky? If you know, you know. But anyway, I think that was what Dillian Whyte was thinking. And I don't believe he really sees the line. He doesn't see all of this, I'm going to punch you, I'm going to knock you out, and laugh and jokes. He doesn't see that. He believes that if you say that and you want to fight, then fight. There's none of this, are we actually fighting or are we just sort of making this up? Dillian Whyte doesn't have that. Dillian Whyte, if you want to fight him, he fights. If you don't, you don't. It's as simple as that. But I do think that Anthony Joshua being at this event is a positive thing. I also think that maybe Tyson Fury could go. Tyson Fury, I believe, has asked Eddie Hearn if he can attend the final fight of Fight Camp, which will be obviously Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin. That would be kind of cool, because then you have Dillian Whyte in the ring doing the fighting, you have Tyson Fury ringside, you have Anthony Joshua ringside, the top 3 heavyweights, all on Matchroom Square Garden, on their lawn, watching Dillian Whyte fight. Because I do believe that you can either say Anthony Joshua is number 1 or Tyson Fury. I'll let you guys decide on that, but that is obviously the first 2 places occupied by either of them. Then I do believe that Dillian Whyte is the 3rd best heavyweight in the world. I don't believe you can say Deontay Wilder because he's no longer a world champion, and when you look at his resume, is it as good as Dillian Whyte's? No, it's not. So I believe that Dillian Whyte is the third best heavyweight in the world. So imagine that, the three best heavyweights in the world coming together on one lawn. And who knows what might happen. You might have Tyson Fury climbing into the ring. You might have Anthony Joshua also climbing into the ring. And Dillian Whyte's kind of caught between two. What does he do? Does he go and face off with Tyson Fury? Or go and face off with Anthony Joshua? Or does he just leave it? I don't think so. But ultimately, that will be brilliant to have all of them there at one single event. And Tyson Fury has been ordered to fight Dillian Whyte after he beats Deontay Wilder, provided he does. And I believe he is going to. There is, of course, one way in which Deontay Wilder does win that fight. That's if he lands that right hand and lands it in the opportune moment. If he does not, then Tyson Fury is going to win. I don't see any other way Wilder can win that fight. But if he comes through that fight, Tyson Fury, I mean, if he does, then he will have to fight Dillian Whyte. So maybe that's why he wants to be ringside, or maybe he wants to get into Dillian Whyte's head, get a head start, because if Dillian Whyte sees him ringside and there has been some animosity built up between them, then there's going to be that there as well, that like mental edge for Dillian Whyte. He must remember that he is fighting Alexander Povetkin. That's the guy across from the ring. So that's the guy he's fighting, not Tyson Fury, not Anthony Joshua. It will be a lot of pressure having both of them there for Dillian Whyte. More pressure than if there was a live crowd, because they kind of just mix in with that. But Dillian Whyte will be able to look down from the ring, look into their eyes and see them sat there watching him. I know you can do that anyway when there is a live crowd there and a possible potential opponent sat down watching you fight. I know you can see them anyway, but as I said, they kind of mix in with the crowd, and once you're in the zone, you're in the zone, because the fans chanting and all of that kind of helps them get there. But when Dillian Whyte can see them both sat there and pretty much no one else, I mean, there will be people dotted around, but mostly, I mean, 6'6" Anthony Joshua, 6'9" Tyson Fury, you're going to see them stand out from all the others, because it will be hard to miss and ignore the two current heavyweight world champions watching you ringside. So Dillian Whyte deserves a lot of respect for allowing that to happen, because he doesn't have to. If Dillian Whyte doesn't want them there, then they won't be there, because it is his fight night. It is his main event. So he can do what he wants. So by saying that they can be there, which he obviously has done, means that Dillian Whyte is showing no fear. He is going to focus on Alexander Povetkin and him only. Then they can get in the ring if he wants them to. Then he can start talking about those guys. So guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? The mental mind games have kind of already begun. The back and forth between Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, I guess they never really stopped. There is mutual respect there between them, but when fighting comes into it, that is all pushed aside and they fight. This is a rematch that could happen down the line. It's a while off because obviously Dillian Whyte is on the WBC route, currently held by Tyson Fury. So that rematch between Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua is a while off, but he is on that route because he plans to fight Tyson Fury, take that WBC belt, go in to an undisputed fight himself with AJ. So that fight is potentially a possibility for Dillian Whyte, provided he keeps winning. But Tyson Fury could be ringside for him fighting Alexander Povetkin, much as AJ could possibly be. Or I believe AJ will, because obviously he said he's going to jump in there, maybe tag in, and he's going to be tempted to start up a fight with Dillian Whyte. Don't read too much into that, obviously, but ultimately Dillian Whyte said he's there, let's do it. He's ready to fight Tyson Fury, ready to fight Anthony Joshua. He wants those names on his resume. He wants to win, and he believes if he does, he's had an amazing career. And you would have to agree with him. Those are some tough fights though between Tyson Fury and him and Anthony Joshua. Very tough fights. But that's what Dillian Whyte wants. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.